Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition here of Step Chat. For those of you that I've not had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Stephen Jones. I am the executive director of Float, of the Aloft streaming program and all that fun stuff. And I would like to welcome you to another edition of Step Chat. For those of you newer to the show, of course, I don't think anybody watching currently is new to the show, but I'll still say it. This is our live Q&A that we host every week pertaining to all the happenings of the Floativerse and the different aspects of it. So hello, everybody. Good to see you. Linda, good to see you. As always, Sherry Hatcher, good to see you. And Sherry Hatcher, literally like 10 minutes ago, we got an inquiry here at Balloon Designers for someone who clearly is geographically challenged. They said, in our quote form, it says, city where the event is being held in. And they said, Boise, Idaho. So I'll be connecting you with them later on tonight because there's no sense in me even having that conversation. So there we go. So yeah, good to see everybody. You may notice a substantial difference here. I have decided, at least I thought I would try it back once again. I am very disappointed how dark my hair is, and yet how incredibly white my goatee and beard is. So I wondered if perhaps I would look somewhat younger if I shaved it off. So I shaved it off. So we'll see. Find out. Greg Aragoni, good to see you, sir. Thank you all for being here. One of our fabulous Float crew members. Good to see you. Dina, as always, a pleasure. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, tonight has been dear God. And then the text messages start. Well, I'm kind of in the middle of my live show right now, so please let me get back to you. One of our fabulous teachers. There we go. So there we have it. Let's see here. Sherry Hatcher, I think you do look younger. Yay! Thank you. Okay. So there we go. Angela, good to see you. Thank you very much for being here. And more shout out and love for Sherry's heart and lungs. That was great sculpture. So I like the clean shaven better. Yes, you look younger. Oh, well, there you go. Very good. Amanda Bruce, good to see you. How you doing out there? Thank you for joining us. Greg, you look thinner. Well, I am thinner. That is for sure. Oh, that's right. They weren't lungs. They were kidneys. There you go. Yes, Greg, thank you very much. I am actually about 20 pounds down. I will say that for the next week or so, I'm not going to be able to maintain the same kind of program that I've been doing. I mean, I can, but we are so stupidly busy right now. I'd rather just not be as rigid about it and kind of more enjoy, like, the occasional momentary of comfort that I can enjoy from something rather than, and then I'll get back to it again hardcore. But yeah, but thank you. I'm about 20 pounds down. I feel much better. I've gone down a shirt size, which makes me very happy. I'd like to lose about maybe at the most 5 more pounds, and then I'll be more than satisfied. It was brought to my attention by a couple of people when they found out that I was trying to lose weight, that they said, I hope you're not trying to do as much as you did last time. And I said, why? And they said, well, it didn't look good. And I was like, oh, okay. Because last time I lost almost 50 pounds. And I thought, okay. And then I actually pulled up video footage of myself from that time frame, and I'm like, ooh, yeah, I did kind of look sick, didn't I? Like when you have your skull like showing through your skin, because you know what I mean, it starts hanging off of you. And I thought to myself, that's a good point. And I don't want to look like that. So I thought to myself, okay, well, I think if I'm right around 195 to 200, I'll be very satisfied with my weight, and that'll be good. So there we have it. Right, Murphy? What do you think? Murphy, by the way, is also getting fat, but that's, he's found the weight that I've taken off. So there we go. Yeah, but, and look, Murphy, you've got comments too. Hey, Amanda said, hello, Murphy. For those of you that's Murphy, that's my main man, Murphy. So there we go. Murphy and I just celebrated our first year anniversary as family Thursday, which was very nice. I adopted him officially 1 year ago on Thursday. So yes, you. Yes, sir. Yes, you. So there we have it. There we go. Yes, and I should also note, by the way, I should also take just a moment, if I may, to share with you. We do have a special in-studio guest tonight. Yay. However, he's working so that I can continue doing the show. So there we go. Everybody, for those of you that don't know this fine gentleman, this is Ryan Farewell. Ryan is one of our fabulous crew members coming to Float. He was actually a volunteer at the last convention that did such a damn great job. We thought there's no way in hell we cannot not pay him to be here. And now he's permanently on the staff. So how dare you call that fluffy little angel fat? Okay, well, there you go. Happy Gotcha Day, Murphy. Oh, gotcha as in adopted. Yes, okay. It took me a second to figure that one out. Thank you, Hannah. I will be sure to share that with him as well. So yes, Mr. Farewell has joined us. Ryan is going to be working with us this year through next weekend in the Pride Parade. So we're very happy about that. The truth of the matter is I did not necessarily call him fat, Natasha. A random stranger did. But everyone has agreed that he has absolutely put on a little bit of weight. So there we go. But you could also argue that means he's happy. So there we have it. There you go. Tabitha Miller, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Speaking of Tabitha Miller, why don't we get to the slideshow here? So let's get to our presentation tonight. So bear with me for just a moment. Again, much like last week, I'm not going to have a tremendous amount of information to share with everybody. For those of you that are simply not aware, June is without question the single busiest month of the year here in Seattle. It is the combination of hold on, make sure this. Yep, there we go. Okay. It is the combination of graduation season, which thank God is finally winding down. The Pride Month, which Seattle has the second highest LGBTQ population in the country, second only to San Francisco. And it is also, as I've also explained before, June 30th is the end of the Microsoft financial year, where this could either be a big nothing burger or it can be massive, where basically departments have to dump budgets. In other words, they find out they have too much money and they got to spend it, so they throw themselves parties. And then they just blow through money like crazy, because if they don't spend it, they lose it in the next budget. So there's that. Miss Stephanie, good to see you. Thank you all for being here. So yes, and a new thing that has occurred now too is intern season. The tech companies are now, intern season is a real thing in cities that have strong tech industry. The tech industry, because what happens is the colleges are out, kids are out of school, and they take their internships at these tech companies, and the tech companies go crazy bonkers trying to impress these kids so that they'll want to come work for them when they're done with school. Marquette, nice to see you. Thank you all for being here. So yeah, but let's get to tonight's presentation. Like I said, I won't have a lot to, but so it's been a busy week here at Balloon Designers here in Seattle, because as you all know, if you checked out last week's show, you remember my special in-studio guest was the one and only Tony Cooper, the former host of Tuesdays with Tony, the second show ever to air on the Float Network, and of course his lovely wife Kathleen. And for those of you that haven't seen her in a while, that's A to the L to the EXA, my business partner, who's also in the photo there. By the way, I should also note that if you are going to the Tough Techs experience, you will see her there because she's actually attending it. So yeah, there you go. But we were thrilled to have Tony and Kathleen with us last week. We had a very, very big weekend last week with graduations. We actually had to pull a bunch of balloon drops. So of course, Tony was great to come in and help out with that. And they helped us both rig everything and get them ready. And then they helped us pull them on Sunday, because this is one of the gigs we had to be there to pull them. And which of course gives me all kinds of anxiety every time. I got some very sweet questions from people about that. They're like, does it make you nervous? I'm like, every time. Like, I sit up there and I just, like, it's like you're counting seconds. It's like, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, is it going to work? And you know it's going to work because you've tested the damn thing. You know it's going to work. But you're just thinking to yourself, what if, right? What if something goes wrong? But thankfully nothing did. Then of course Tony got out of here and Kathleen got out of here, and then I had Murphy and I had a couple days to ourselves, and then of course Ryan got here. But then yesterday we were delightfully surprised by some more travelers coming to town. Chelsea Costello and Tabitha Miller joined us yesterday for an afternoon of fun and excitement after we got done working. It turned, so if you see in the background there, that is a wooden troll. That troll actually stands 14 feet tall. It was created by a Norwegian artist that did these trolls all over the Pacific Northwest, and apparently they're all over the world. I believe there's other trolls in different parts of the world. And that particular troll is literally within walking distance of my house. It's been here for several years, and I swear to God, I'd never seen it till yesterday. So thank you, Chelsea, and thank you, Tabitha, for popping in. And then, of course, all of us had a lovely dinner last night. It was really, really nice. So I was glad to have you guys join us. It was a great time. I wish we could have spent more time with you. But of course, you were here. You were very limited time that you were here, and plus, while you were here, you were trying to find other trolls and other things. By the way, I never did. Did you make it to Vashon Island? Did you make it to the other trolls? Because I know Tabitha had to be back in Portland this morning for a flight, and so I'd be very curious to know about that. But yeah, it was a really nice visit. And Chelsea, of course, lives 3 hours from here in Portland, so she's hopefully we can connect a little more often and spend some more time, hanging out and stuff. That'd be fun. So there we go. So, yeah, it's great. And as far as Balloon Designers is concerned, the fun is not over yet, because we have another person coming in tomorrow and another person coming in this coming weekend. Now, this individual is not, we're not bringing him in. He's actually coming in for family stuff, but he's going to give us a day while he was here. So there we go. We saw 5 of the 6 just landed in New Orleans. Oh, very good. Okay. Which one did you miss? I can't remember. Oh, hey, Ryan. 4 items were just delivered. Hold on. I don't know that was you. Yeah, go look at the front porch. It might be. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I don't know. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. Ryan has been expecting this thing of energy drinks now for like 2 days, and it was supposed to be here Saturday. It was supposed to get here between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. It was scheduled for then. We were then informed that it was delayed until 7 to 9 p.m. Of course, we weren't here from 7 to 9 p.m. because we were having dinner with Tabitha and Chelsea. And then, of course, it's like we can't make the delivery. And then so they say you need to reschedule the delivery. So I go in and I'm looking at the time. They're not giving me an option to reschedule it. So I'm just assuming that they're going to reschedule it, and hopefully that was it. But I don't know. We'll find out soon enough if they got him or not. So there we go. But as I mentioned, this month here at the Floatress of Solitude, we are, to say that we are busy is an exaggeration, or I'm sorry. To say that we are busy is a dramatic understatement. Was it here? Okay, then that's the stuff that went to Alexa then. That's what it was. Okay. Sorry, guys. That's the stuff that went to A to the L to the EXA. Okay. So yeah. This month has been a bit challenging for me with the Aloft streaming program. Now, for those of you that don't know, we have our own streaming program called Aloft. It consists of a series of classes and videos and podcast episodes and all kinds of fun stuff that we do online. It's at Aloft. It's floatconvention.com/Aloft. This month we had a wonderful class with Stacey Chase. Last month we had a great class with Shressa Sawyer. But none of you have watched them yet on replay because it's been stupidly busy. And as a result of which, I have still not had even the remotest opportunity to get to that yet. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to get to it till next week, because this week is even crazier than the last ones. We are literally doing half of the month's volume, or almost half of this month's volume, this week alone. So I apologize. I'm going to get to them as soon as I possibly can. So for those of you that are like, hey, what's up with the classes? I do apologize. I promise to get them to you as soon as I possibly can. It was also my hope tonight that I would finally be able to share with you who our class coming up for July is. But unfortunately, I still don't have all of the content that I need. I'm not trying to be mean at this point, but I can't tell you how many times I've asked for this and I'm not getting it. We may have to postpone the instructor. If we do, I have another instructor potentially that I can line up. So that's why I didn't want to jump in tonight and say, here's who it's going to be. So I do apologize sincerely. Again, I can honestly say this part's not on me. And I'm not speaking ill will of the person, because I know that person is also very, very busy. But I kind of need this, right? Because I really, when I announce the classes, I really don't want to half-ass announce them. I want them to be, this is it. This is the date. This is the content. This is what we're doing. Boom. I don't have it. So I am working on a secondary option. Regardless, by the next episode of Step Chat, you will know, because it will literally be the day before July. So we will be making an executive decision sometime in the next couple of days, what direction we're going to go, one way or the other. So again, I do apologize for not having more information on that for you. Please bear with me as I continue to trudge through June. Okay. Let's talk about Reno. Let's talk about float. Again, we're kind of in a holding pattern because there's just not a lot going on right now. One of the things we talked about before was the sponsor packet. And that was supposed to be out in June, as I've addressed on multiple occasions. It's June. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Why did I think I could have that ready for June 9th? And I'm kind of glad I didn't do it too, because other things have popped up in the meantime. So as far as potential things for people to sponsor. So with that being said, the sponsor packet release date has been backed up to July 14th. So for those of you that are sponsors or vendors watching the show, the vendor showcase is currently open. If you're interested in getting a booth in the vendor showcase, it's half sold out. You can get a booth right now without delay. All you got to do is reach out and say, hey, Steve, I need the link to get a booth, and you get a booth. But if you are looking to sponsor decor, if you are looking to sponsor the t-shirts, or if you're looking to sponsor the lanyards, or you're looking to sponsor one of a myriad of new things that we're offering this year, you're going to have to wait till July 14th. I do apologize. I had hoped that I could get to this sooner, but I can't. And I don't want to send it out half-assed. So in that regard, July 14th, we'll have it ready for you. Thank you very much for your patience. I greatly appreciate you and your time. Okay, I accidentally hit the wrong thing there, but let's get to it. So we have been getting some questions in the last week pertaining to float and pertaining to the convention, and I wanted to address a couple of them now in case some of you had those same questions. First of all, you know what? I'm so sorry, guys. I lost my live feed of your comments and conversations. So here we go. So I missed a bunch of stuff. Okay. Liliana, hello. Good to see you. Tabitha, you did make it to Vashon. Good. Dominique, good to see you. Thank you very much. Floatress of Solitude seems to be a minimum in this summer. Yeah, lately, you're right. It hasn't been so solitude, has it? There we go. And that's what I'm talking about. Okay. So there we go. Okay. Thank you. So we've had some questions pop up, so I want to address them. One of them was a very good question that we got from one of our brand new people who's coming to the foundation program. And there seems to be a little bit of miscommunication on this. The foundation people, the rule is that if you are enrolled in the foundation program, you have to have a room reserved in your name at the hotel. But somehow this has turned into, I have to have my own room at Float. So the question is, do students in the foundation program have to have their own private hotel rooms reserved at Float? The answer is no, you do not. What you must be is the primary guest listed on the room reservation. Okay, what does that mean? So you got to be the person who books the room. Okay? For example, the person in question has family that's coming to float, but the family members are established balloon people and they want a room together. And they're like, well, I can't room with you. I have to have my own room. No, you don't. What you have to do is the person that is the foundation member, let's say, okay, so let's say the foundation student and the cousin or the whatever is going to room together. The foundation student must be the one who makes the reservation for the hotel room. Okay. When I get a list, when I get a spreadsheet of names, the first name on the spreadsheet is the person who actually booked the room. Other names that are listed are people that are also staying in the room. So your credit card must be the one holding the room if you're in the foundation program. Now, we had another situation pop up where a mother and daughter combination are coming to float. And they're like, and they're both in the foundation program. And they're like, we both have to have our own rooms. No, if you're family, we're not going to hold you that. But you do have to have the room in one of your names. That's all there is to it. The reason for this is simple. What we don't want is people abusing this system, and we all know people will. People will absolutely turn around and be like, I'm staying at this other hotel, but just do me a favor, just list me as your person, and that way I'm on the thing. No, that's not how this works. Your credit card has to be there. You can have roommates, I don't care, but you have to be the primary room holder. That's how it has to work. Okay, that's the only way it's going to work. And if you don't do it, then you're not eligible for the certification. It's that simple. Okay. I've been getting a lot of people asking about virtual options for this convention. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go, but I don't want to miss these classes. And there's so much amazing stuff. Are you going to be streaming the classes so that was really funny. Murphy's tail hooked a balloon bouquet and he started walking off with it. That was funny. Okay, sorry. So I've been getting a lot of people asking, like, I really want to go, but I don't know that I'll have the money. You know, please tell me you're going to offer these classes online. Oh my God, I can't wait. No. While there will be streaming content at Float, classes will not be available in a virtual format. What does this mean? It does mean that our good friends Lisa McIntyre and Teresa Harding will once again be doing live streaming at the convention. They'll be streaming a variety of different things. Rumor has it there'll be a daily walkthrough with Steve every day, like, you know, like Sunrise with Steve kind of thing, where I'll be there to, you know, kind of do our morning constitutional walk or whatever. But no, we're not live streaming classes. What most people don't understand is how stupidly expensive it is to do this. It literally breaks down to roughly $3,000 or $4,000 a class to stream. That's per class. That's what it basically boils down to. Because first of all, you have to have So you have to have dedicated crew members there whose only job it is to handle the behind the scenes operation. These people require a certain skill set, which is not, you can't just put a warm body back there and say, here, run the stream. That you can't do that. You have to have someone that's very familiar with doing this. Secondly, the hotel does not give you streaming quality Wi-Fi. You have to pay for that. And that is very expensive. For example, in Chicago, it was $1,000 per day per classroom if we wanted to stream a class. And that's just for the live stream. So like in our case, if we wanted to stream a classroom, everybody thinking, well, that's just $1,000. Wrong. You also have to stream the room that they're working out of. And then you have people that are like, well, wait a minute, you could just hack it. You can buy your own router, you can bring your own router, you can stream yourself and everything's fine. Well, yeah, and if you get caught doing that, you're in violation of the contract with the hotel. And that can end up being very expensive. It could end up, we could be kicked out technically. No, they're not going to really do that, but they can negate my contract for the future events. So you have to play within the rules, right? And as we learned from Float 2022, which of course was the COVID float, we honestly expected hundreds, if not 1,000 people to sign up. We thought there would be at least hundreds of people that would sign up for the virtual option that we were trying to do at Float. Now, mind you, the virtual option at Float 2022 was not classes. It was well, there were some class content, but it wasn't the live classes, other stuff. And then we had all kinds of scheduled shows and everything. Well, it turned into a massive cluster, you know what? But at the end of the day, 30 people signed up. 30 people. We did, in no way, shape, or form were we able to pay for what we provided at the event. We lost money on it hand over fist. Now, some would say, well, you lost money because you weren't streaming the classes. Well, right. But at the same time, did you not do the math on what I just shared? There's 7 classrooms. 7 classrooms. How do you determine which classes you're going to stream? You have sponsor issues that come into play. If you pick a class and you've got this sponsor with a class, but not this sponsor, you have angry sponsors. Then you decide, okay, well, we'll try to do one from everybody. Well, then the problem is you run into situations where you're like, but what about, but people want this content. They want this content. People are angry because they wanted the instructor to teach both their classes online. Well, you can't do that. There's no perfect solution. And again, there's not enough revenue coming in the door to remotely justify this. So the answer is no. Now, remember, we are going to be recording classes again, and hopefully we'll have a lot less of drama this time, getting them uploaded and everything else. And those will be available through the Aloft program. Hello. I see you. So yeah, it hopefully we'll have a much better time, and hopefully things will be going much easier. But no, we are not going to offer virtual classes live at Float. If you want to take these classes, you better get your butt to Float. That's all I'm going to say. And because we don't know which classes are going to be made available on the Aloft program, I can't tell you in advance which is going to be yet. So there we have it. Aloft, speaking of Aloft members, do we get a discount off of Float 2026 if we are members of Aloft Streaming? No, not this time. We are not giving away discounts to Aloft members off the Float registration this time around. However, as we have pointed out on previous episodes, there are lots of benefits and perks to Aloft members who attend Float. You get VIP access to the vendor showcase. You get in 2 hours before everybody else. There'll be a special registration line just for you. You'll be allowed to reserve your classes earlier than everybody else. You'll be allowed to reserve your actual seat at the gala without having to pay anything. So there's several, and there's other benefits that are coming that we can't talk about yet. But yeah, so no, you don't get any money off the registration fee. However, there are plenty of perks that will make it well worth your time being a member. And besides, the content alone is worth the membership. These are just added benefits across the board. Jenny West, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Another question I've been getting lately: are there any discounts or promotions available to Float 2026? Currently, no, other than the established discount rates that already exist. The international rate will be in place until January 3rd. However, we are going to be running a $50 coupon code promotion in July for U.S. domestic registrations. We did talk about this last week on the show. We teased it a little bit. I'll be more than happy to share it with you again. We are going to have a contest amongst our instructors. And each instructor will have their own coupon code, and they'll be posting it and sharing it. And the 2 domestic instructors and the 1 international instructor that gets the most people that respond and use the coupon code will get to hand select when their classes are offered at Float. So in other words, if they're one of those people that, like, say, for example, you hate mornings, Well, if you get more people signed up than anybody else, you can say, I ain't teaching mornings. I'll be teaching Monday afternoon and Tuesday afternoon. Thank you very much. And there you go. And then the rest of the schedule will be built around those individuals, which also means we cannot possibly at this time share with you what the academic schedule is going to be until August, or at the soonest, August at the earliest. So there we go. Thank you, Dina, for posting the link in our Facebook chat for the Aloft program. Thank you. Jenny West. Oh, cool. I didn't know we had all those perks. Yes, you do. And like I said, there are more coming. There are more perks coming your way. We just can't go into them yet because we're waiting on some other stuff to fall into place. But yeah, so there we go. But like I said, if you are an international delegate, if you qualify for the international rate, that is valid all the way to January 3rd. And of course, the discounted rates of the weekend passes and the jam passes are also cheaper than the current registration fee. They just come without academic access. So there you go. Okay. And that, my friends, will do it for the questions that I have prepared. So now it is time for what we like to refer to as our street level content. So let's get, first of all, to the Step Chat survey that was posted today. Again, I do apologize for not posting a survey last week. The whole Monday show thing kind of threw me off a little bit. Today's question kind of came to me late last night, and I thought it was a good question. I will say that unlike the last survey question that we asked, I do believe that the results this time were honest and genuine. However, I think it only reflects a percentage of I think a lot of people that would have answered differently didn't respond to the survey. And don't necessarily respond to them anyway, and that's fine. But we'll get to this in just a second. So the question that was posed today is, when you go to a convention, not necessarily float, but any balloon convention, or any other, say you go to a face painting convention, or you go to a juggling convention, or you go to some other convention unrelated to our industry entirely. How active are you in going to class? Because there are, the whole reason we came up with the Jam Pass, for example, this year is because we were inundated at the last convention with people who were trying to register at the last minute that were like, I don't want to go to class. I just want to come and hang out with everybody. So there's that. So the options that were given were, I go to every class, I go to like every other class, I might go to one or two, or I don't go to class at all. I just hang out and socialize. I was absolutely surprised that 91% of you said, I go to every class session if possible. Now, again, I'm not suggesting that you're being disingenuous. I'm suggesting that a lot of people who probably would have selected the other options didn't participate in the survey. We had, at the time that I took the screenshot, there were 22 people that said, yes, I go to every class possible. And there were 2 that said they don't, that they go to 1 or 2. And when you look at the longevity of the individuals and those individuals that said no, 1 or 2, that makes sense. And I'm going to tell you flat out, I actually fall into the category of I rarely attend classes anymore. It's not that I don't necessarily even want to go. It's that, to be honest, in most cases, whenever I get to go to a convention, if I'm not working at it, right? If I get to go to a convention, I tend to use it as almost like a vacation more than anything. So I'm lucky if I sit in one class. And even if I do, Jenny West, isn't the whole point of float to learn? For some people, absolutely. For some people, absolutely, the whole point is to learn. For other people, it is to network and connect. There are some people that will be coming to float in search of a sponsor. They'll be there to try to impress potential sponsors and pick up sponsorships down the road. There will be some people that are coming to float that are strictly coming to extend their influencer audience, right? There will be people that are coming to float with the intent to build content that they'll use for the next year and a half on their social media platforms. There are some people that are coming to float almost predominantly for the vendor showcase. they could care less about the classes. And they're pretty much coming to see what new things are out there, what they can buy, any deals they can get. And I'll tell you right now, I know for a fact that's the case because the number of people at the last convention in Chicago that were furious that we wouldn't sell them a day pass just so they could come to the vendor showcase for a day, it was unbelievable. People were very angry. I don't want to. I'm not registered. I don't want to register for this whole thing. I just want to come for the vendor show. Well, sorry, it's a benefit extended to our attendees. That's stupid. Why don't you sell me? You're giving away money. No, I'm not. Because I can force you to pay for the whole thing. And if you don't pay anything, that's on you. But at that stage and at that time, the best business decision that Float could make, we were in the third largest market in the country. Am I going to make it too easy for people to go, or do I want to make it to where they have to make a commitment to go? You already didn't have to pay for a hotel room. Am I right? I think I'm right. Jenny West, the only difference is I'd like to teach maybe later on. Well, there you go. We always take open applications. I guess that makes sense. I think the poll is still pretty accurate for the majority of the attendees. Again, for the majority of people, yeah, I don't think it's 91%. But again, I'm not suggesting that the people that said not are in the 91% are not being honest. I think what it is that the other aspects, the other percentages probably were not as active in the polling, if that makes sense. So there we go. Linda, it's a working vacation for me. Yep, that's kind of how I look at it too. But thank you all very much. I really appreciate it, and thank you for taking the time. Okay, I do want to remind everybody once again that Float is developing our YouTube channel. So if you are even remotely active on YouTube, we would love it if you would follow us at youtube.com/@thefloativerse. Please take a moment to review some of our videos, to like them, share them, subscribe. If you ring the bell, that notifies you whenever we post something new. Speaking of something new, this week's schedule is pretty simple. Last week we did not do a summary episode because there really wasn't a lot of content. It was mostly me and Tony kind of hanging out and BSing. So I just uploaded the entire episode last week. This week we are going to do a summary episode of this particular episode because I heard back from some of you we were kind of bummed that there was no summary. So that's good. I'm glad to hear it. And we are starting to see the numbers go up a little bit on the viewership. So thank you for that. So obviously we're doing the live broadcast tonight. On Monday, tomorrow, I will upload the full episode at some point. I cannot say when. We have a stupidly long and busy day tomorrow. Our first installation begins at 4 a.m. and we will not be finished for the day installing until roughly 4 p.m. So it's going to be a very long day tomorrow. Ryan just sighed in ways I can't even express. And he's right, because tomorrow is going to be as long of a day as the Pride Parade day will be, if not longer. So if that tells you anything. So then I'm giving myself a little bit of grace. So instead of uploading the video on Tuesday like I normally like to do, I will try to have I will have the summary episode available on Wednesday of this week. So the summary episode should be ready for you on Wednesday. I will make a commitment because it's not as hard to edit the summary videos down as it is to edit, say, a class video. So that's why I can do this and not get to the classes yet, if that makes any sense. I have lots of easy placeholders that make things very, very simple. I don't have to listen to every moment I've talked with you tonight to make the summary video. It's that easy. So there we go. I do want to remind everybody that this coming Tuesday is Kicking Back with Lisa Mack, our live virtual happy hour that takes place right here on the Float Convention page at facebook.com/float2026. Lisa McIntyre will be our host for that, of course, as always. Yeah, Lisa McIntyre. Now, hopefully this will be the golden week that everything's fine. But yeah, this week, this month, Lisa's been a little busy, and we've had some some clunkiness and some kerfluffles and other stuff. But we have all anticipation of seeing Lisa's show this coming Tuesday night, 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time, and whatever the hell time it is where you are. For those of you that aren't familiar, it's a virtual happy hour where basically Lisa hosts a Zoom call. Quite a few people get on the call live, and we visit and chat and talk and everything. The first hour of the show is broadcast live on Facebook. And then after it's disconnected from Facebook, it goes into what's called after party mode, where people can chat a little more honestly, a little more bluntly, a little more graphically, whatever they want to say. But it's a good time for everybody. You can participate one of two ways. You can either be live on the call with us. You can be part of the Zoom call itself. And if you're new to the Floativerse and you want to make some new friends, that's a great way to do it. Or you can just stalk us on Facebook and leave comments in the comment section while the show is live. And there you go. There's Lisa McIntyre right there. All are welcome. And she's absolutely right. The link for the show will be posted in the Float's Facebook group, because that is a private setting. But the show broadcasts live on the Facebook page because Facebook will no longer allow third-party apps to broadcast live in them. So there's that. So there we go. So yeah, that's it. But as if you didn't have enough of Lisa McIntyre, this coming Wednesday night is our next edition of Working Wonders. Lisa will be joining Ronnie, Debbie, and Crystal. This week, they'll be Never Would I Ever. Looking forward to that topic of conversation. That's basically going to be things they swore they would never do in their businesses that they did, mistakes they made they'll never do again, things they've bought they swear up and down they'll never buy again, whatever. So yeah, it's Never Would I Ever. That's this week's episode of the Working Wonders. The great thing about Working Wonders, if you never checked it out, it's 4 ladies who work in the balloon business. They're all at different stages in their lives. They're all in different stages in their businesses, and they're all in different situations with their families. And that's one of the reasons why I absolutely love it. Lisa McIntyre, of course, with nearly grown children, who is a hired gun. Crystal Roughton with a kindergarten graduate at home, right? Trying to manage the conflicts of having a child and a husband and running this day-to-day business. Ronnie Johnson, of course, leading the party lifestyle with she and her husband do magic, as well as he is a Vegas performer, 9-digit Dave. They do magic as well as the balloon stuff and everything else too. And then, of course, you have Debbie Levy, who our lovely Jewish grandma, who she and her sister run a business. And they just recently, for the first time in their like 20-something, 30-something years of business, got their own shop, their own workshop. So they're very excited about that. So it's a lot of fun. So it's always a good time, and the episode's going to be great. And I'm very excited to look forward to it. It's this coming Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Pacific time. And that's right, whatever the hell time it is where you are. So we're looking forward to having the ladies join us once again. And finally, I do want to remind everybody that, as we've alluded to already earlier tonight, there will not be an episode of Step Chat 1 week from tonight. 1 week from today is the date of the Seattle Pride Parade, and we at Balloon Designers will be at the parade all damn day long, serving the needs of our clients. We don't have as many orders this year, but they're substantial. So we'll be there all day, between handing out the stuff, between prepping everything, because some of us, like the Delta Airlines ordered their big jet plane again. I can prep it here, but I can't assemble it till we get down there, and that always takes me 90 minutes to 2 hours to put together on site. We've got people that'll be picking up orders. We'll have to get stuff finalized and put together and prepped and everything there. And then, of course, at the other end of the parade, A to the L to the EXA is there, along with people popping everything. We provide a service to the parade where we accept anybody's balloon stuff at all. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff there. So there's that. Naida, good to see you again. Thank you very much for being here. Yeah, it looks like a good episode. It's her niece. I don't know what that, Lisa, I don't know what that comment means. But But yeah, so we got a lot of stuff going on, and even though there's a good chance I'll make it back here to the shop in time for a live show on Sunday, I won't be in any position to do one. We'll be just absolutely exhausted. So the show has been rescheduled for Monday, June 30th. So for those of you that just can't live without your step chat fix, and God love you for that, by the way, um, that will be taking place 1 week from tomorrow. So it'll be Monday, June 30th. So I do apologize once again. This is the month. This is the month, right? And but to be honest, June 29th is the peak of the month. So there we have it. So we'll see you all for the next episode on Monday the 30th. And with that being said, that will do it for tonight's presentation of Step Chat. So at this time, I would like to. Judy is Debbie's niece. Oh, why did I think she was a sister? Or actually, what I thought she was sister-in-law. Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for correcting me. I appreciate that. So there we go. With that being said, I am here for the next few minutes to answer any questions that you guys may have pertaining to float, pertaining to a loft, pertaining to anything involved in the floativerse. Whatever you have for me, by all means, feel free to throw it out there and we can discuss it. Hopefully you guys get some rest this Sunday instead. I imagine that we are going to be so exhausted we're not going to rest properly, if that makes sense. And we actually, at this point in the game, unless it's a corporate client that we like already have established, I don't think we're taking anything on June 30th. I think we're just going to literally be just, recovering. I do know that Mr. Ryan, you fly home on the 30th, don't you? Yeah, you go home Monday morning. Our other cohort who's coming in goes home Monday morning. So yeah, we've got so it's there you go. It's like they literally get done and then we kick them out and go. Bye. Get home. But Frank, I'm sure your wife and children will be very happy to see you once again. So yeah, here let's give His Royal Highness a little FaceTime here on the camera. Hello, Murphy. Good to see you. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. So yeah, I will. Should I tease it?
Oh, yes, just maybe just a little.
I maybe just a little. Yeah, a little. Yeah. Now hold on a second. Now you do understand you are held to secrecy.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, all right.
I can't say anything.
Right. For fear of jeopardizing your position at float.
Don't message me and ask. I won't tell you.
Right. And of course, I'll just simply not pay you for being here all week. Your wife will love that. Okay. We're working on another float event. I'm just gonna say that. Now when I say float event, I don't mean at float. What I should say, let me rephrase that statement. Murphy, stop it. We are working on another event. I can't take this call. Ryan, can you answer this? Yeah. No, he hung up. I think he realized that it's my yard guy. We're working on another event. I can't go into details. Can't tell you when it's going to be. Can't tell you where it's going to be. Can't tell you anything about it. All I can say is that Mr. Ryan and I were what were we doing? Was it dinner? Yeah. Were we just at dinner one night? We were at dinner one night and we were talking about float stuff. And then I said, I've got this other idea that's been stewing around in my head. And then all of a sudden he was like, "Oh my God, that sounds really good." And I'm like, "Does it?" Yeah. And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Does it really?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Okay, well, maybe we should look into this. And maybe Sherry Hatcher, he can be bribed with tacos. I think you're confusing Ryan and Teresa.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That's what I think. And Teresa doesn't know. Ha ha ha. So there we go. Sorry, my yard guy, like I said, and hopefully he's got this all finished. But yeah. So yeah, very excited. Steve, let's chat about the dates. Nope. Here's what I will say. It's an event that pertains to balloons. I will say that. And I will say one more thing. It is an event that pertains to balloons, and it will not be taking place before the convention. Let's gonna leave it at that. And no, for those of you wondering, it's not Fulcrum. Fulcrum's already planned for 27. It's not Fulcrum. It's something else. Something else entirely. So we're excited. So yeah. And if all goes according to plan, and if all the things go well, then we will more than likely be sharing a lot more information with you in the near future. Can I get that date for Fulcrum? We don't have a date. We don't have a formal date for Fulcrum yet. The truth of the matter is, I've never in my life had a harder time getting our hotel to commit to dates for me. I don't know what's going on. I've asked multiple times from the St. Louis Airport Marriott, can I please get on the books? And you would think the salesperson would be like, yep, let's do this. And he keeps saying, yeah, let's do this. And I never get anything. So, but we will, the game plan is obviously we will have the dates for Fulcrum before float, and we'll post them at float more than likely. So there's that. But yeah, there we go. I'm not saying. Well, I suggest New Jersey would be a great place to host it. If you, I'm guessing that it is not a cruise. Let's see. Is it not a cruise? Is it not a cruise? Is it not a cruise? I don't know. No, it's not a cruise. No, it's not a cruise. Not a cruise. So we'll figure it out. You'll find out eventually. If we do it. If we don't do it, then what's the point? But I'm pretty sure we're going to do it. Just going to be a matter of where and when, right? But yeah. But we and yes, we were contemplating, do we do it between now and float? And of course I'm like, no, I've got too much on my plate for float. And the last thing I need with regard to the convention is that kind of a distraction, like trying to run some other event before, especially knowing how many, dear God, how many plates are we spinning this year at the new convention, right? I mean, how many balls are we trying to juggle with? I have to absolutely be focused and hard and fast on this convention before anything else gets thrown into the mix. But yeah, we're very excited about the possibilities. So there you go. Okay. Well, I'm not seeing any other questions pop up, so I will give it one more minute to see if anybody else has something they want to throw out there to talk about. And from then we'll just call it a day, I guess. Yeah, tomorrow we have to be on the Microsoft campus at 4 a.m. to have an arch and 225 feet of the ugliest organic garland you've ever seen. Rigged and in place. The colors are just wow. And it was their pick. The thing you have to keep in mind about Microsoft events is that in a lot of cases, the colors, they get very cerebral with their planning, right? They really do. And so the colors oftentimes reflect this color represents this emotion. This color represents this concept. This color represents this. And so, and even the placement of colors in the graphics means certain things. This is more important than this, and this is more significant. And because there's more of this color, it's so cerebral. It's like, wow, people get paid to do this. But it just, so we have to rig all that stuff before 7 a.m. At 8 a.m., we have a simple balloon drop-off delivery that's about 10 minutes away from campus, which is good. It's not too far. Then about 15 minutes from there, immediately after that, we got to be at the T-Mobile corporate headquarters to set their intern event celebration stuff. Then we come back, reload the vehicles, because we've got back-to-back office grand openings from 12 to 2 and 3 to 4 that we have to set. And they had like custom, I had to do all the vinyl crap on balloons today and everything and all that stuff. So by the time we get done, now the great thing about it is that everything's done, everything's finished. It's just a matter of walking in and doing it, right? Setting it up. So the good news is and we've given ourselves enough padding between everything that we shouldn't have any problems. In fact, we may end up with like did I also mention we have somebody also coming to pick up an order too in the middle of all that madness in the morning. A to the L to the EXA at one point has to break away and come back here so she can meet with that client to pick their stuff up. So it's but it is what it is. It's Lisa, what is the color palette? The color palette is honey yellow, which, by the way, is rapidly becoming one of my favorite colors now. I like it even more than I liked goldenrod. So you got honey yellow, you got pink, you've got turquoise, which in our case is the leftover Ellie's brand teal, I think is what it is. That's 3 colors. You got red, you've got forest green, and you've got purple. All mixed together in one big upchuck of organic garland. A to the L to the EXA is not happy because she's like, I've done all this work and we're not going to post a single damn picture of it anywhere. And actually, it was very funny too, because when Tabitha and Chelsea walked in here last night, the first thing they said is they saw the garland. They're like, that's an interesting color combination. Like, yeah, we didn't pick it. So it'll be interesting. But and I got a mural I'm working on with it. And so it's a thing. It's a thing. There you go. Okay. Well, guys, I don't see any more questions or comments. So thank you all very much. Appreciate your time. Looking forward to seeing you a week from tomorrow. I'll try to be on Lisa's call Tuesday night if I can, depending on what our schedule's like and what we're doing work-wise. I may be late to it because, you found it. I may be late to it, to be honest, because we have a teardown that afternoon and I don't remember when it is. So there we go. And I just realized that once again, I'm so sorry, guys. Once again, my live call absolutely dropped out, and I don't have the comments from everybody. If there were other comments or stuff that I don't necessarily see. Okay, so it looks like maybe I got everybody. So there's that. Okay. So guys, thank y'all very much. We'll see you next time. You guys have a good one. And in the meantime, hope you're making money. If you're not making money, I hope you're working towards making money. If you're not working towards making money, I hope that you are truly enjoying yourselves in your downtime. So with that being said, have a great night. We'll see you next time. Bye.